Now in this session, we will discuss about the equivalent circuit of a transformer. That is, what is an equivalent circuit and how this equivalent circuit parameters can be determined. So equivalent circuit is nothing, it is actually a simplified representation of a transformer. This actually represents various equations. Okay, now why we are using this equivalent circuit is that it will help the analysis process very easy. Okay, now how can you get the parameters of this equivalent circuit? So for that there are some tests which can be used, and we call it as open circuit test and short circuit test, that we will see in detail. Now here you can see the equivalent circuit of a transformer. Now this is the primary winding and this is the secondary winding. V1 represents the voltage which is given to the input of the transformer, and I1 is the input current drawn by the transformer. Okay, and R1 represents the resistance of the primary winding and X1 represents the reactance. And this current I1, it splits into two. One is I1 dash, which is equal in magnitude and opposite in direction to that of the I2, that is the current which is flowing through the load. And the other part is I0, which actually consists of two components, that is core loss component IE and magnetizing component IM. Now here R2 represents the resistance of the secondary winding and X2 represents the reactance. So this is the equivalent circuit. Now here we can again simplify this equivalent circuit. That is, whatever parameters are there in the secondary, like R2, then X2, then V2 and I2. These are the parameters or quantities in the secondary side. Using transformation ratio K, you can actually transfer this from secondary to primary. Okay, then you call it as equivalent circuit referred to primary side. Okay, referred to primary side. Again, you can have equivalent circuit referred to secondary side also. For that, what we do is, we will transfer the resistance R1, the reactance X1, the voltage V1 and the current I1 to the secondary side. Okay, now we will just see the equivalent circuit referred to the primary side. So already in the primary side we have the resistance R1, reactance X1, voltage V1 and current I1. Okay, these things are there on the primary side. Again we have the current I0, which is splits into two, that is IE, IM. These components are also there. Now next, how can we transfer the parameters in the secondary winding to the primary winding? For that, suppose if R2, let's take the case of the resistance R2. Let R2 be the resistance in the secondary winding. Now we want to transfer this to the primary. So when this is referred to the primary, you call it as R2 dash. So how can you get the value of R2 dash? This R2 dash is given by R2, that is the resistance in the secondary winding, divided by K squared, where K is called the transformation ratio. Okay, and the value of K is given by N2 by N1, or you can write it as V2 by V1. Okay, now the same way, suppose if X2 is the reactance in the secondary, when you transfer this reactance to the primary, it becomes X2 dash, and this is given by X2 by K squared. Okay, so this is how you can transfer the resistance, reactance as well as the impedance. Impedance, it will be Z2 dash, which is given by Z2 by K squared. So this is how you can transfer the resistance, reactance and impedance from the secondary side to the primary side. Now the question is how you will transfer the voltage V2 and current I2. For that we will use that equation. So what is the equation? I will write it here. That is V2 by V1 is equal to K. Or in terms of V1, or how you can make V2 equivalent to that of V1, that will be V2 by K is equal to V1. Okay, so when you transfer the voltage, secondary voltage V2 to the primary, it will become V2 by K, or you can write it as V2 by N2 by N1 because K is equal to N2 by N1. Okay, and this I already explained, R2 dash R2 by K squared, where K is equal to N2 by N1, and again X2 dash X2 by K squared. Now let's see how you can transform the current. Current is also there, no? Current I2. So the relation for this one is I1 by I2 is equal to K. I1 by I2 is equal to K. So in terms of I1, what will be I2? So you will get I2 is equal to I1 by K, right? Or you can write K into I2 is equal to I1. K into I2 is equal to I1. So in order to make I2 equivalent to that of I1, you have to multiply it by K. So that is why here we are representing I1 dash. I1 dash is the same as I2, right? I1 dash is the same as I2, that is equal to I2 into K. It is not by K, it is into K. So this is how you can transfer the parameters from the secondary side to the primary side. Okay. Now again we can simplify this. That is, we can remove this parallel path, this parallel circuit to the leftmost side. Okay, so then it will be something like this. So I have transferred the no load parameter. So this is called the no load parameter. That this is the no load current, okay, which has two components, that is core loss component and magnetizing component. Okay, so I have shifted it to the left side. Now this is the input voltage V1, the current I1, then I1 dash. See here, now it become more simplified, right? And again you can just add these two, that is R1 plus R2 by K squared. So R1 is the resistance of the primary, and this represents actually what? The resistance of the secondary referred to primary. Okay. Similarly, this X1 represents the reactance of the primary. X2 by K squared is the reactance of secondary referred to primary. So if you want to write it together, you can write something like, you can represent something like this. So this will be R1 plus R2 by K squared. R1 plus R2 by K squared, because it includes the resistance of both primary as well as secondary. And what about the reactance? It can be written as X1 plus X2 by K squared. Okay, this is how you can simplify the equivalent circuit. Okay, now here the voltage is V2 by K, which is V2 dash, that is the voltage of secondary referred to primary. Now what about the current? Current I2 referred to primary will be K into I2. Okay. Now next step is how you can determine all these parameters. That is, we have to find I0, then we have to find IE, we have to find R0, X0, then R1, or this one you can write it as R equivalent resistance, which includes the resistance of both primary and secondary. And also this one you can write it as X equivalent, that is the reactance of both primary as well as the secondary. Okay, now moving further, next we will see the testing of transformers. That is how you can test the transformers. There are two different tests which can be used. The first one you call it as open circuit test. This is actually used for determining the no load parameters. That is when the transformer is under no load condition. No load parameters. The other one is the under loaded condition. Okay, short circuit test is under loaded condition, how to determine the other parameters, that is resistance as well as the reactance of the windings. So first we will move on to the testing of transformers, that is open circuit test. Now what is this open circuit test? Now from the name itself you can understand that this open circuit test, you can see here the primary winding, you can see the primary winding here, it is actually a low voltage winding. So this I will take this as primary, this I will take this as primary, and this as secondary. So primary winding or primary side is low voltage, you can see, because the number of turns here is very less. Suppose if here the number of turns I take it as N1, this N1 is less than N2. That means secondary will be the high voltage side. Okay, so you can see the high voltage side is kept open. So this here there is no current. I can write it as I2 is equal to 0. There is no current which is flowing through the load, which means secondary is under no load condition, or it is an open circuit. Now what about the other side? So low voltage side, what is happening in the low voltage? So high voltage side is open circuited. What about the low voltage side? You can see that we are connecting. First we will start from here. That is, we are applying an input voltage V1, okay, single phase AC supply, using an auto transformer. So the purpose of auto transformer is to vary the voltage. Okay, then we have one voltmeter here, wattmeter here, ammeter here. So as you know, ammeter is used for measuring the current, wattmeter is used for measuring the power, and voltmeter, this is voltmeter is used for measuring the voltage. So from the circuit you can understand the voltmeter will measure the input voltage V1, right? So this is no load condition or open circuit condition. So what will the ammeter give? What will be the reading of the ammeter? Ammeter will give current I0. What is current I0? Current I0 is the current that the transformer takes during the no load condition. Okay, so we will get the value of I0 and V1. Now what about the wattmeter? So under no load condition, whatever input power which we are giving to the transformer, it is used for supplying the core loss. That is very important. That is, under open circuit or under no load condition, the machine input power will be used for supplying the core loss. So now what is the equation for the core loss, or what is the equation for the input power? Input power is always voltage into current. For in the case of transformer, unlike motors and generators, the rating of the transformer is always taken in kilovolt amperes because it is load dependent, depends on the type of the load. So I can write the input power of the transformer as input voltage V1 into no load current I0 into, because this is under open circuit, that is why I am taking the current as I0 into phi 0. So cos phi 0, that is a very, because as I told you, we have to consider the effect of this power factor. Okay, just 1 second. So I can write it as V1 I0 into cos phi 0. So where cos phi 0 is called as the power factor. Now the ideal power factor value is up to 0.99. Okay, always the power factor has to be high. Okay, so from this, this is actually the input power which we are giving to the transformer. Now since this is done in open circuit condition, the wattmeter will give this power. So the power which is given to the machine, that is the transformer, is used for supplying the core loss. So the wattmeter reading will give this power. Okay, so the wattmeter will give V1 I0 cos phi 0, the value of V1 I0 cos phi 0. Now already we know the value of V1 from voltmeter and I0 from ammeter. So we can easily find the value of cos phi 0. So once we get the value of cos phi 0, we can find the components of the current, that is IE, core loss component, IM, magnetizing component, and other parameters. Okay, that we can find, that we will see how to find. So right now you understand that under the open circuit condition, whatever power we are giving to the transformer, it is used for supplying the core losses, and this core loss will be measured by the wattmeter. Okay, now in this case we have to use a low power factor wattmeter because cos phi 0 will be very small. Okay, so this is actually the same thing which I have explained. That is, here we can see that the high voltage side is left open. You can see here. Okay, now our next thing is we have to find, I will take this current as I0, that is the no load current, and this as IE, this as R0, this as X0, and this as Im. So we are going to find all these parameters now. Okay. Now for that we will use the various equations which already we have learned. That is why I told that this equivalent circuit actually represents the equations, various equations which we have learned. Now, as I told you, the wattmeter reading will give you the value of V1 I0 cos phi 0. So V1 already you will get from the voltmeter, I0 from the ammeter. So from that we can find the value of phi 0. So once we get the value of phi 0, we can find IE, that is I0 cos phi 0, and Im, that is, either you can use the equation Im is equal to, just 1 second, we can use the equation Im is equal to I0 sin phi 0, or you can use the equation Im is equal to square root of I0 squared minus IE squared. Any equation you can use. Okay. So you will get the components of current, that is IE and Im. Now once you get this, it is very easy to get the next step. That is how you can find R0 and X0. Now just let's go back to that equivalent circuit. See, if you see here, the voltage that is appearing across the resistance R0 and the reactance X0 is V1. So already we get the value of V1. So R0 will be V1 divided by IE and X0 will be V1 divided by Im. So using that equation we can find the value of R0 and X0, that is written here. Okay. So this is about the open circuit test. So we already got the no load parameters. Now the next thing is we have to find the resistance as well as the reactance of the primary winding and secondary winding. For that we use short circuit test. So this is arrangement of short circuit test. Now here you can see that the primary winding, if you see here, the primary winding is high voltage and the secondary winding is low voltage. Okay, now here you can see that the low voltage winding is short circuited, unlike the previous case. In the previous case, which side was open circuited? Low voltage side. Sorry, high voltage side. Okay, in the open circuit test, all the measuring instruments are placed on the low voltage side and the high voltage side is kept open. Whereas in the case of short circuit test, the low voltage side is shorted and all the measuring instruments are kept on the high voltage side. So always you have to remember this. Okay. So in the case of high voltage, that is in the case of short circuit test, high voltage side is very important because we are keeping all the measuring instruments like wattmeter, voltmeter, ammeter, everything here. Okay. Now we will go through the circuit. Now here V1 is applied voltage and we have an auto transformer for adjusting the voltage. There is an ammeter, there is an wattmeter, there is a voltmeter. So voltmeter will read the voltage and the ammeter will read the short circuit current and wattmeter will give the power. So now we will discuss what power or which power the wattmeter is going to give. Okay. Now in the short circuit test, actually what we are doing is we are shorting the low voltage side, right? So this it can be something considered as an impedance to which a voltage is applied. So I will explain this in detail. See, suppose just think that this is the equivalent circuit of this transformer. Now, in this in this short circuit test, you are going to find the copper loss. Copper loss. Okay, so what is the equation for this copper loss? Copper loss equation is given by I squared into R. Okay. Now this is a short circuit condition, right? So we will take the current as ISE, where SE indicates short circuit. So ISC squared into R equivalent, where R equivalent is the resistance of both primary as well as a secondary. So in this short circuit test, we are going to measure only the copper loss. That means we have to get rid of that core loss. That is why we are applying a very small voltage. So the core loss will be very small. Okay, and thereby we can actually neglect this part. So we are going to ignore this part in this test. So just assume that our circuit is like this. So there is an input voltage VSC. I am indicating it as VSC because it is a voltage related to the short circuit test. And what about the current? the current is represented as ISC, that is the current corresponding to the short circuit test. And here you have the resistance R1, reactance X1, resistance R2, reactance X2. Okay, so basically suppose you can think something like this. I am giving a voltage, AC voltage, then I am connecting an impedance. What is impedance? Resistance plus inductance. Okay, and let me take this as R equivalent and X equivalent. So this R equivalent and X equivalent, I can take it as impedance Z, right? And a current, what is a current? The current flowing through this can be taken as ISE because it is a short circuit current. Okay, now since I have eliminated the no load parameters, the wattmeter reading will give this loss, copper loss. Because what you can just think that it is you are giving a voltage to an impedance and a current is flowing, so that means there is some copper loss. So this wattmeter will give what? Copper loss, that is ISC squared into R equivalent. This value we can get it from the wattmeter. Okay, now we have the voltmeter which will give the voltage and an ammeter which will give the current. So V by I, we will get what? V by I is equal to Z. So we can get the value of Z and we can get the value of resistance. So using that we can find reactance. Okay, now just we will go through that equations. That is, as I told you in the short circuit test, since the voltage applied is very less, we can ignore the core loss. That is, no load parameters can be ignored. So the power what is given by the, or the input power, whatever power we are giving to the transformer, it is used for supplying the copper losses because a current is flowing through the impedance. Impedance consists of resistance and reactance. So this is the equation. Now from this we can find R equivalent, that is power by current squared. Because copper loss is basically what? It is I squared R loss. That always you have to remember. Copper loss is I squared R loss. So from this we can find the equivalent resistance. One very important thing, this equivalent resistance includes the resistance of both primary as well as the secondary. And it depends on which is the high voltage side, because we are connecting all the measuring instruments on the high voltage side. So if the primary is the high voltage side, it depends on the rating of the transformer. Suppose if primary is the high voltage side, then this resistance, reactance, everything will be referred to the primary side. Now if secondary is the high voltage side, then whatever value we are getting, that is resistance, reactance, everything will be as referred to the secondary. That is very important. Then you can find the impedance, and after finding the impedance we can find the reactance also. So finally we are getting all the parameters which we need for this equivalent circuit diagram. Now this will be more clear when we try to do a problem. Okay, so let's move further with the tutorial question. Now the question is like this: a 20 kilovolt ampere, here you can see the power of the transformer is given in 20 kilovolt amperes. If you want to convert kVA into, suppose if the power is at kVA, and if you want to convert it into kilowatt, just multiply it by cos phi. Okay, now the rating, the voltage rating of the transformer is given, that is V1 is 250 and V2 is 2500, which means the secondary is high voltage. That is very important. The secondary side is high voltage. So we are doing the short circuit test on the high voltage side, right? So whatever values we are getting for resistance and reactance will be that of the secondary. Okay, then the frequency is given, and these are the results of the test. So in the OC test we are getting the value of V1 and we are getting the value of I0. Okay, and this represents V1 into I0 into cos phi 0. So from this we can find cos phi 0, then accordingly we can find IE, IM, R0, X0, like that. Now this is a short circuit test. So the wattmeter reading is here, 320 watt, current is there, short circuit current, and voltage is also there. Now the question is, find the parameters and draw the equivalent circuit referred to. There are two cases. First, you have to draw the equivalent circuit referred to the low voltage side. So remember that low voltage side is primary and high voltage side is secondary. So two cases are there, two equivalent circuit diagrams you have to draw. First referring to the low voltage side and the second one referring to the high voltage side. Now let's look at the equations. So this already I have explained this one. There is no much difficulty in this. You can find cos phi 0. Then you can find IE using this equation I0 cos phi 0. That you will get 0.42. Then IM you can calculate. Now the next step is you have to just to see the question. So we have found the no load parameters. But now just to check the question here. First we are going to draw the equivalent circuit referred to the primary low voltage side. So here the low voltage side is what? Primary. See, if you see here, the primary winding is the low voltage side. Now we are doing this where we are finding this no load parameters. This no load parameters we are finding using the open circuit test. And where you are doing the open circuit test, it is done on the low voltage side, right? Here the low voltage side is primary, so there is no issue. Same values we can take. That is R0 is equal to V1 by IE, X0 is equal to V1 by IM. That is, you don't have to use any transformation ratio or anything because this is the value which we are getting in the primary side. So you don't have to do any transformation. But now we will move on to the short circuit part. Now here see, short circuit test is done on the high voltage side. Now here, which is the high voltage side? 2500 volts. Secondary is the high voltage side. That is very important. Secondary is the high voltage side. So whichever values we are getting here, it belongs to the secondary. It belongs to the secondary. Now the question is, first part is convert, that is you have to refer it to the low voltage side. High voltage side is secondary. Whatever values you are getting are in the secondary. Now you have to transfer it to the primary. Okay. So let's see. Now from the from the short circuit test which is done on the high voltage side, that too in the secondary side. Current is here, voltage is here, power is here. So we can find Z. See here, it is 2 because we are getting the value in the secondary. That is equal to V by I. Then you will get the value of impedance. Then of course we can find resistance. Here also you can see R02, which means equivalent resistance in the secondary. Okay, that also we will get, and from this we can find X02. Now we have to convert Z02, R02 and X02 to the primary side. Okay, because it is written here to the low voltage side. Low voltage side is primary. Okay, so we are moving further and we will find the transformation ratio. Transformation ratio K is equal to what? V2 by V1. Now here you can see what is V2. Transformer V2 is 2500 and V1 is 250. So from that we can find transformation ratio. So now whatever parameters we have found using the short circuit test in the secondary side, we will convert it into the primary side, that is low voltage side. Okay. So how can you convert it? From secondary, when you want to transfer it to the primary, you have to, what you have to do? You have to divide it by K squared. See here. So R01 means it is the equivalent resistance referred to the primary. Here primary is the low voltage. Okay. So you can say R01 is the equivalent resistance referred to the low voltage side. That is given by whatever resistance you are getting in the secondary divided by K squared. So this value you will get. Again X01 also you can follow the same method. Now using all this we can draw the equivalent circuit. So V1 250 volt and this is what? R0, X0. There is no change in that because no load test we have done in the primary, which is the low voltage side. These values, see, it will change because now we have referred it to the primary side. And here you can say, write it as V2 by K and this one. Okay, so only change is the parameters in the high voltage side which we have got using the short circuit test. Okay. Now the second part, now we will go to the second part of the question. The second part of this question is like, draw the equivalent circuit referred to high voltage side. So our secondary is the high voltage. I will highlight like this. Our secondary is the high voltage side. Now you have to take everything to the high voltage side or secondary. So that means, do we have to change the parameters which we obtained in the short circuit test? That is R02, X02, Z02. No, because that test is conducted on the secondary side. That will keep same. That will remain the same. Only change will be for the values of R0, X0. Now let's go through that. So referring to the high voltage side, so we have to refer everything to the high voltage side. Now the short circuit test we have already done on the high voltage side, so that will be the same. There is no change. R02 will be same, X02 will be the same. See here, R02, X02. And this is R02 is actually the equivalent resistance in the secondary. Okay. Now what will be the change? Now these two parameters will change. R0 and X0 will be changed because these are in the primary. Now we have to move it into the secondary. So primary parameters, the resistance in the primary or reactance in the primary, when you want to transfer it into the secondary, how you do? You multiply it by K square. See here. So R dash 0 means it is the resistance which is transferred to the secondary. That is why I am multiplying it by K square. Similarly, X0 dash, it is also transferred like this. Okay, so accordingly you will get these two values, and that two values you have to draw here. Okay, the rest is the same. Now the secondary, this is secondary voltage, we will represent here V2. There is no change in the secondary voltage. But what about the primary voltage? You should not write it as V1, you should write it as K into V1. Okay, so this is how you can determine. This test usually you do in the lab, and in the lab actually you will get these two tables like this, open circuit test and short circuit. Based on these two values you can draw the equivalent circuit, whether it is referred to the primary or whether it is referred to the secondary. The very important thing is you have to understand, short circuit test is done, that is all the measuring is done on the high voltage side, and the open circuit test all the readings are taken on the low voltage side. So first thing is, when you get a question you have to think which is the high voltage side, is it primary or secondary. That information you can get it from here. That is, here you can see the transformer rating, that is 250 2500 volt. That is from that information, that is from here you have to see, that is which is primary. So first one will be the primary. So we have to first understand whether primary is the high voltage or secondary is the high voltage. Okay, like that you can do this. So if you work out more problems in this, it will be very clear, but these equations we have to be very clear about the equations. I hope you got an idea about the equivalent circuit and the methods for determining the equivalent circuit. Okay.